If you want President Trump's agenda to succeed, taking jets from Qatar is not the way. Taking real estate deals from Qatar is not the way. The largest obstacle to any administration is scandal. From Watergate to Whitewater, scandal-plagued administrations have a really tough time gathering the political capital necessary to actually effectuate their agenda. And that's why it's unbelievably important that the Trump administration avoid scandal. That is the reason I am worried about this stuff. Yes, I think inherently it is bad. I do not think this is good. I think if we switch the names to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, we'd all be freaking out on the right. Let's say if Qatar was giving Joe a $400 million jet for his use at his presidential library after his presidency, or if Hunter launched a crypto firm with the son of Antony Blinken and then launched a series of crypto products in which mysterious strangers, including foreigners, were investing, all while that crypto firm was being regulated by Joe's administration, we'd all have been pretty upset on the right. We might have said that it was worthy of some coverage.
Well, if it isn't Ben Shapiro taking off the mask and revealing a little piece of his selfishness once more. Now, first of all, let's take it very slow. Let me hold your hands with this. Because he said, switch the names Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, and we'd still be mad. Let me ask you a question. Switch the names Qatar with Israel. Would you still be upset? Because I didn't hear Ben Shapiro crying up a storm when Bibi Netanyahu came to the United States and gifted a golden beeper plaque to the president as a favor, as a gift, as a message to say, hey, we're the type of people to make beepers blow up. And here's a beautiful golden statue in order to remember us by. They also gave this silver statue to some senators in the United States. Is that okay, Ben? Are you all right with that? Do you mind a foreign nation giving favors and gifts if it's perhaps the country that you supposedly support more than the United States of America? See, Ben Shapiro is America first until it has to be about his mother nation, his quote-unquote mother nation. All of a sudden, he is deathly afraid of the Trump administration scandals. The Trump administration scandals. He's not worried about the 9-0 Supreme Court hearing that the President of the United States is ignoring. The Supreme Court said that the man in El Salvador needs to come back to the United States to stand trial. He doesn't care about that. That doesn't bother him. For some reason, the Supreme Court of the United States doesn't mean much to him. But Qatar giving a jet, oh boy, this is a big deal. And let's just take a moment, and I'm gonna actually weaken my argument by being honest. And the reason why is because I'm not Ben Shapiro. I can't lie. I can't be a hypocrite. The United States of America should not be taking a jet from Qatar. They also should not be taking billions of dollars from AIPAC, which is a foreign entity in the United States, but masquerades as an American one. And let me tell you something, Ben. I pray to God that they make a QUAPAC, a bunch of Qatari Americans that donate money to the United States, just like AIPAC, and I want to see your reaction. I want you to act like AIPAC never did this before. I want you to act like, oh my God, this is a threat to our sovereignty as Americans. We have all these Muslims giving all this money, all these Arabian Middle Easterners, they're going to be influencing this country. I want to see that so badly. And what's funny about all this is that Ben Shapiro is someone who comments about everything. This dude went to the Barbie movie just to complain about it and complain and say it's bad and it's woke garbage. He 100% sees everything and he selectively chooses what to complain about and what he thinks is a threat. He saw the 9-0 Supreme Court ruling and thought, I'm not going to talk about that because that does not help me. That does not put money in my pocket. That does not help me basically make Americans fight against each other. If it's something that's about race relations and I can sow division, I'll talk about it. If it's something about Middle East and it looks beneficial for my home nation, I'll talk about it. If it's something that's not beneficial to me, if it's not beneficial to my agenda, then I'm not going to touch it. Why would I touch it? If I have a person on my network, the Daily Wire, who has someone like Candace Owens who is speaking up and saying things I don't like, me being the free speech activist that I am, I'm obviously going to fire her. Now, Ben is a hypocrite. It's been shown that he's a hypocrite. A lot of conservatives have seen him basically be a gigantic hypocrite, mostly because he's not free speech when it's not speech he doesn't like, mostly because he says words like we and us, but then involves the United States in things that have nothing to do with it. Ben Shapiro will literally sit there and tell you that the United States needs to fund Israel and give money to Israel, even though he's allegedly America first, and that allegedly he's an American, and allegedly that's all he thinks about. And there's nothing wrong with being an Israeli American, a Middle Eastern American, Jamaican American, but be honest. Don't sit there and say you're America first and you're, cutthroat America first. You think no other nation should get a dime of money, but then sit there and say, oh, well, Israel, it makes sense because Israel obviously needs the money and they're our greatest allies, so why wouldn't we give them the money? Just be honest. Stop being a masquerading fool that pretends to be America first, a haunch Republican, just like Charlie Kirk, who says over and over he's a conservative America first, but we need to fund billions of dollars to the Holy Land, and understand that their idea of the Holy Land is the holy place that is not Muslim. It is not Arabic. It is only Christians or Jews. And ironically enough, there's not many Christians who've been persecuted under Islamic rule. But boy, the Israelis, that Easter Sunday, they've sure had a fun time pushing people around. And unfortunately for Ben, it's now gotten to the point where the AIPAC money's not enough. The Qatar money is now a threat. Now they're talking about Qatar like they're literally AIPAC. Like they're trying to say everything that AIPAC does, Qatar is doing. They're funding American politicians. This Qatari money is flowing in. Qatar has so much influence. All of a sudden, they now are staunch debaters and staunch individuals against funding of government officials. When it's from their political party, when it funds their agenda, it's totally fine. It's absolutely fine. But when it's something like this, it's terrible. And what's funny to me is that this kind of shows Donald Trump's true colors, where he doesn't really care. He's a purely selfish person where he's like, Qatar, Israel, anyone who wants to be the biggest bidder, I'll help you. I'll do anything. You give me a couple billion, you give me a jet, we Gucci, we're great. I could care less. And I think Ben Shapiro knows that, and he's so afraid. He's like, oh my God, if he starts getting more money from certain individuals that aren't my individuals, he might start seeing things their way and start moving things around that is not advantageous to me. Oh my God, this is a real scandal. Now, this is a scandal. All the other stuff you see in the news, that's not a scandal. This thing is a scandal. Absolutely hilarious, absolutely mind-boggling. If anyone actually watches the Daily Wire and doesn't understand that it's biased conservative news, it's not even like biased Republican news, it's literally biased Israeli news. It's the Al Jazeera of Jewish news. And when I say Jewish, I don't mean the religion, because these people will take it and somehow skew it to make it about the religion. In no universe does the religion of Judaism tell you need to fund American politicians and then enact policies in order to fund more weapons and more money for destroying a group of people and pushing ethnocentrism and pushing ethnic cleansing. It's not in Judaism. Actually, the opposite is probably true. If you read the Talmud, you'll be surprised what you could see. But at the end of the day, Ben Shapiro does what he does best. He yaps. And hopefully people are smart enough to see through the BS, because honestly, it's actually hilarious how hypocritical he's been.
The Free Press just put out an article how Qatar bought America. If that were true, there would be signs. That's completely untrue. I have not been bought. Does this look like a man who's been bought by Qatar? And anyone that has accused me of getting money or becoming some type of Emirati or Qatari, I'm the same person I've always been. I happen to like gold. Sue me. Sue me. Literally sue me.